I have an elm branch here, and I plan on mounting it in between centers. I'll put a tenon on it, I'll flip it around, and I'm going to see if I can make a nice little goblet, and I want to leave the base pretty tall and have that left all mounted. I'll get this marked for the tenon. Nice and square in the chuck now. Tighten it up. And speed up. I'm using my 1/2-inch bowl gouge here just to create a basic shape. This piece of elm is very dry. We had our tree trimmed around 5 years ago, and I managed to find this in the firewood pile. I'm using my 1/2-inch spindle gouge here. The wood's cutting quite easily. I'm working it down towards the base, and I definitely want to leave that little branch that's sticking out on the end there just because I think it looks pretty cool. Well, it's got some nice pretty grain in it. Just gonna clean this top, get the little bark off of it. I don't think there's enough that it's going to help it look any better than without it. I really like how the wood is cutting here, but it was a freshly sharpened tool. I decided to go ahead and drill this one out. It's not that large of a tenon that I have it mounted to, so I feel a little safer drilling it. If it was a little shorter piece and not sticking out this far from the chuck, I may not have drilled it. Now it's time to get that inside finished out while I still have some stock on the outside. You definitely do not want to get your outside shape finished before doing the inside of the goblet. Yeah, we'll go a little bit deeper down here. I'll see if I can get this camera set up a little bit better. Now it's time for the fun part. I'm using my 3/8 spindle gouge here. Alright, that's as small as I want to go right now, right here. So I'm going to go back to the inside. I'm going to get it down to the size I want and sand it up. And I'm going to make a little plug in here to hold this with the tailstock so that I can turn the rest away. I'm not sure what happened, but I lost quite a bit of the recording of turning on this goblet. I'm going to go ahead and finish the goblet, and if all goes well, I may go ahead and post this one also, but this is where I'm at right now. There's a lot more done here. There's a lot of decision making going on, and I'm not sure. I have no idea what happened, but it's gone. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and clean this up, work on this little transition just a little bit better, and then I'm going to just leave this like it is, and I'll probably go ahead and do another one, and this time pay a little bit more attention to making sure I have all of the footage that I recorded. I'm going to work on this little stem area right there. Using my 1/2-inch spindle gouge here just to try to get it smoothed out and get the shape refined. I'm going to resharpen this spindle gouge. Alright, let's see if this works a little better after being sharpened. I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit in here, and it's just about done. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's going to leave me a good flat area that I don't want. It's going to be a little bit more shaping. That might work all right. Just shaving off just a little bit, and that really left a nice finish. Definitely going downhill, cut much better. I just need to get this blended into there. That's so smooth I don't even need to sand it. Here's a close-up view. I'm just taking real small cuts, just taking the smallest amount off to try to get the shape I'm looking for. Using a little bit of sandpaper just to refine that shape. Well, after sanding on this and looking at it, I still don't like this little about a 1/4 inch of straight. I don't know that I want to make any more curve in it. I feel like bringing this down this way, that'll make this a little longer, and I'm not going to change the taper on it. I'm just going to let it flow into here. Turn the other way from sanding, I was in reverse. Turn it up. So probably want to get right there. Well, I hope I'm not making the wrong decision here. Yeah, I like it. I could even go a little bit more. Or cut this out on this side. I'll go a little more. I didn't cut this so smooth that I could start with 1200. I had already sanded and worked my way up to 1200. Well, I just mixed up a new batch of the friction polish. It seems to last a long time, but this was almost empty. I used 1/3 shellac, 1/3 boiled linseed oil, and 1/3 denatured alcohol. I'm sure everybody knows how to do that, but just in case, it's very simple to make. You do have to keep it shook up when you're using it. It does separate. Put as many coats as you like. Dries really fast. Sometimes I like to get 6. It all depends what the wood is and how shiny you want it. This one I want shiny. As soon as you start feeling some heat in your paper towel, you know you're going to start seeing some shine on the finish. Sometimes I put 2 or 3 coats on, one right after the other, but then after that I may let it sit for 5-10 minutes and do the whole thing again. I like to use the blue shop towels. They seem to be a little softer than the white ones, and that's what everyone else seems to use. You can see the shine starting to build up now. There's probably 4 or 5 applications on here. It's just like any finish. The more you get on there, the more it shines. I want to go ahead and buff this out a little bit with some paste wax. Get a nice layer onto it and just let it dry for a little while and then buff it. Doesn't take very long. Yeah, that feels like a nice little coat on there. Get some worked into this bark here. This dark area really makes it look nice. Put some on this. Where this branch came out when I sanded, I came down across this area. That really wasn't my intentions, but after I did it, I really like it. And I'd like to go ahead and maybe try to shine, there we go, darken this up a little bit. Alright, I'm going to get a fresh piece of paper towel and go ahead and buff that wax off. I'll start out going backwards on it. Turn the RPMs up a little. Oh yeah, that's shining nice. I turned it up to around 2200 RPMs. It's about all you really need for this. I'm removing the wooden disc that I made to help hold it between centers so that I can wax the inside. That's the wooden disc that I made earlier on. Unfortunately, that was part of the video that I lost. Well, here comes the decision that I've been dreading. Where to cut it off over here. I certainly want to leave all of the area that starts up with this branch. I wouldn't want to cut into that. So that made things easier right there. There's a piece where I cut away the bark when I was making the tenon. I don't want to leave that. So now the problem has been solved. I will cut it right between the two. I cut most of it off with a parting tool, but somehow I didn't get that film. I sure wish I hadn't lost the video that I did, but I also hope that you enjoy what I do have here.